Sadiq and the Bridge Builders by Simon Nirali. Hi, I'm Sadiq.
I'm Sadiq.
My family and I live in Minnesota, but
My family and I live in Minnesota.
parents are from Somalia.
But my parents are from Somalia.
Sometimes we speak Somali
Sometimes we speak Somali
at home.
at home.
I'd like you to meet my family
I'd like you to meet my family
and learn some interesting
and learn some interesting
facts and terms from our
facts
culture.
and terms from our
Hoyo.
culture. Hoyo,
Baba,
Baba,
Nirali,
Nirali,
Aliyah,
Aliyah,
Rania,
Rania,
Amina.
Amina.
Chapter 1.
So what?
Building Club.
Building club.
Sadiq was in his rain gear. He, Aliyah, and his friend Zaza were
His friend Zaza were
walking to the bus stop.
walking to the bus stop.
Ugh, said Zaza. I hate all this rain. When will it stop?
Well, it stopped.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I think it is supposed to rain all week, said Aliyah. It's only
Rain all week, said Aliyah. It's only
Monday.
Monday.
I miss playing soccer,
I miss playing soccer,
said Sadiq sadly.
Sadiq sadly.
It's been too wet to play outside.
It's been too wet to play outside.
Me too, said Zaza.
Said Zaza.
I am bored with playing video games.
With playing video games.
Kicked a pebble on the side.
He kicked a pebble on the sidewalk.
You might have to keep playing them, said
You might have to keep playing them.
Aliyah.
Said
It doesn't look like the rain will
It doesn't look like the rain will
stop soon.
stop soon.
The kids cut through the park.
The kid cut through the park.
The path beside the river was flooded.
The path beside the river was flooded.
It looks like the river is flooding,
It looked like the river is flooding,
said Aliyah. She tried
said Aliyah. She tried
to step around the
step
big
around
puddles.
the big puddles.
Uh-oh, thought Sadiq.
Said
He thought about all the rain they'd had lately.
He thought about all the rain they had lately.
He'd heard his parents talk about something called flash floods.
He heard his parents talk about something called flash floods.
I hope this flood isn't too serious, he thought,
I hope this flood isn't too serious.
as he
thought,
followed
as
Aliyah's
he
footsteps
followed
around the puddle.
Aliyah's footsteps around the puddle.
The bus ride to school was quick but rainy.
The bus ride to school was quick but rainy.
At school, Sadiq and Zaza walked to their lockers to put away their things.
At school, Sadiq and Zaza walked to their lockers to put away their things.
Hi, Manny, said Sadiq as he walked by his friend's locker.
Hi, Manny, said Sadiq as he walked by his friend's locker.
Hi, Sadiq.
Hi, Sadiq.
Hi, Zaza,
Hi, Zaza,
replied Manny.
replied Manny.
The three friends walked to class together while listening to morning announcements.
The three friends walked to class together while listening to morning
Announcements.
announcements.
Good morning, everyone, said Principal Turner over the speaker. Mrs.
Said Principal Turner over the
Heisel, our school librarian, is starting
Mr. Heisel, our school librarian.
a block
Is starting a block
building club.
building club.
She will hold a welcome meeting during lunch today.
During lunch today.
A building club?
Building club.
Asked Manny, looking at his friends.
Looking at his friends.
I love blockos, said Zaza. Should we check it out?
Check it out.
We can't play outside anyway, so I think we should go. It would be fun to join a new club, Sadiq.
Join a new club,
Ed?
Sadiq said.
Mrs. Heisel stood at the door to the library during lunch. Welcome, everyone. Please take a seat, she said. Sadiq, Zaza, and Manny walked to one of the tables. They sat down with their lunches. Several other kids walked in after them.
Several other kids walked in after them.
When everyone was in their seats, Mrs. Heisel said,
When everyone was in their seats, Mr. Heisel said,
For our first project,
for our first project,
we will split into 2 teams of 6.
we will split into 2 teams of 6.
Each team will build a model city strong enough to withstand a natural
Each team will build a model city strong enough to withstand
disaster.
natural disaster.
Our world is changing.
Our world is
We have to
changing.
build
We
cities
have to build cities
can handle
that
bad
can
weather.
handle bad weather.
What will we use to build them?
We used to build them.
Asked a girl named Lydia.
Lydia.
You will use plastic building blocks called blockos, Mrs. Heisel said. They are a lot of fun. You can also use clay to help you with your projects. I want you all to get creative. Zaza raised his hand. When will we meet? He asked. Twice a week after school, on Mondays and Wednesdays, said Mrs. Heisel. Our first official meeting will be this Wednesday.
Our first official meeting will be this Wednesday.
The library is also going to be open at lunchtime each day.
The library is also going to be open at lunchtime each day.
You can come and work on your project.
Then.
How will we learn how to build the cities?
How will we learn how to build the cities?
Asked Sadiq. You can find instructions for building cities out of blockos online, said Mrs. Heisel.
You can find instructions for building cities out of blockos online, said Mrs. Heisel.
You will want to build houses, streets, railroads, schools, trees, and a number of other things that you find in a city.
You will want to build houses, streets, railroads, schools, trees, and a number of other things that you find in a city.
But you need to make sure you build them so they withstand a natural disaster. Disaster. You can find instructions for building cities out of blockos online, said Mrs. Heisel. Asked a boy named Zuber.
Where do we go online? Asked a boy named Zuber.
I'll have a list of websites you can visit at our next meeting, Mrs. Heisel said.
I'll have a list of websites you can visit at our next meeting, Mr. Heisel said.
In the meantime, think about planning your city. Also, think about what natural disaster you want to protect it. Can anyone give me an example of a natural disaster? Maybe we can build a city that won't flood.
Maybe we can build a city that won't flood,
thought Sadiq. He raised his hand. Flooding, he said. Earthquakes, said a girl named Hala. Hurricanes, said Zaza. Those are all correct, Mrs. Heisel said. At our next meeting, we will settle on 2 natural disasters to protect against, one for each of the 2 teams. How long do we have to work on our projects? Asked Manny. Plan to have your projects done in 2 weeks, said Mrs. Heisel. I invited an engineer to visit next Monday. You can ask Ms. Jessie for help then. She will judge the cities 2 weeks from today.